The issue in relation to the FijiFirst given until 28th of June, what if they do not come back with that amendment?
So it's actually a notice to deregister them. So it's not, oh, maybe we can or we cannot. They must comply with that. If they don't, then it is a notice that they will then go on for deregistration. It is a requirement by the law for them to adhere to. The Constitution is to reflect what's in the Political Parties Act, and that was the notice that was given.
So if the 28th of June comes, no changes, a notice of deregistration means the action of deregistration or another process?
It actually means that we will go on with the process of deregistering them. Now, this is different from what we did last year, where we had actually suspended, because this provision is really specific. It says if they don't comply with what is required, then they have to be deregistered.
So 28th June is the date.
It's a cut-off date for them.
What happens to the issue also, you have the issue regarding the legality of the current FijiFirst leader, Vorenge Bainimarama?
Okay, so Section 5 of the Political Parties Act, now it talks about a person who has been convicted of an offense and sentenced to imprisonment for a period of not less than a certain period of time, they become disqualified. So the definition of office holder, if we look at the Political Parties Act, it talks about any person who is elected or appointed, and then it gives example: president, vice president, general secretary, registered officer, treasurer. But then there is actually a case. So in 2018, there was a case, Faikek versus Rambuka. So this case, it actually stated that the definition of office holder, it also includes party leader. And then, so if we are looking at the laws regarding Vorenge Bainimarama as holding into the FijiFirst party leader, whether he is eligible to still hold on to it or not, well, the law clearly states that he doesn't, and so we actually, in the process now, we actually wrote to him. So the process is for us to remove him from the National Register of Voters.
Mr. Bainimarama?
Yes.
Because he is convicted already?
Yes. And so it doesn't mean that he is convicted that we should just automatically remove him. There is natural justice to it. So he needs to be notified that his name will be removed, and then he's given 14 days to respond. And whatever is the outcome of response would then determine the next course of action. But then the law is quite clear on the qualification. If you're serving 12 months or more, then you're not eligible to be in the National Register of Voters. And according to Section 5(3), not eligible to become office holder as well.
Now for that, you're saying 14 days. When does his 14 days finish?
It's actually next week.
Next
Thursday,
week?
Yes.
Next Thursday?
Yes.
So you take action straight after that, or is there this
we receive it, and then basically straight after that, we remove from the National Register of Voters.
Because the law is clear?
Because the law is clear.
So he gets removed from the National Register of Voters, and also this other issue in relation to him then getting disqualified to be the leader of the party. What happens to people like Aiyaz Sayed-Khaiyum, who came out after the decision was made, having a press conference saying he will continue to remain the leader of FijiFirst?
So with regards to that issue, we had actually referred that situation to FICAC. So it's now currently with FICAC for their assessment into that issue.
You know, he said many times in press conferences that you have been targeting the FijiFirst. What do you have to say to him?
Well, I think action speaks louder than words. I mean, the complaints that we've referred to FICAC, it doesn't only reflect them, it also reflects other members of other parties. And so him saying that is just nonsense.
We also have issues in relation to other matters. For example, this whole process of the MPs being told by a person who may not actually legally qualify to be giving directives from within prison walls. How does that apply to them?
You know, that's something that the speaker needs to deal with, but for us at the Fijian Elections Office, it's quite of interest to us because the Constitution, the 2013 Constitution of our nation, it talks about party leader and secretary. Now, when we look at the Political Parties Act, when it looks at office holders, the party leader is missing. And then in the case in 2018, it says party leader could be included. So for us, it'd be of interest to us on the processes that will take place here and the legality surrounding it, because even if there is a court decision to it, it will also help us with our processes.
That will take time, of course. There's another question here in relation to the FijiFirst Party. These people have sent through this question as a group, I believe. Only has provision in its constitution about AGM or annual congress. But the party has never called for an AGM or annual congress according to these people. Who checks to ensure that is done? What is the process? What happens when they do not follow the process?
So with regards to having AGMs, these are some of the things that are reflected in the schedule that is in the Political Parties Act. And so at the moment, it's not reflected in FijiFirst's constitution. So the notice that had gone out to them on for them to rectify these issues, it does not only limit them to the inclusion of the dispute, the grievances process, it also requires them to adhere to the schedule, which also includes that there needs to be a mechanism of AGM in place. So we will wait for the